Hi everyone, I'm Greg, Bioinformatter on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Moxfield, Bioinformatter underscore actual on Threads and Instagram. I thought I was done with Lord of the Rings purchases, but I hadn't bought the Jumpstart product yet. The the Jumpstart sets that come along with a release generally aren't so spectacular. The standalone jump starts are usually good, but as a game, it's take two and shuffle them and then play with someone. I haven't actually experienced jumpstart play myself. I remember getting the original jumpstart, and it was I'm cracking them just to find the cool rares and mythics that made it into that set. Um, But for this, I have no idea how good it's going to be. Usually, people say that these are like similar to theme boosters, and that these are probably going to be color limited per pack. But we'll see, because there's some multicolor stuff going on in this set, so I don't know what they've put in this release. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Mix and match to claim the ring. And it tells you how Jumpstart is supposed to go. And then we have our packs. So they're 20 card packs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like there's 18 packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And let's see what they call these. What they call the themes of the packs on the inside. So this is 18. I believe I will use a spin down counter. So this is from one of the Lord of the Rings bundles. So they got fancy numbers on them. So pack number 1. Okay, in this particular box, they are sealed on the inside. So I think what I'm going to do, yes, actually, I'm not going to use the counter really, because I'm going to tear through and just open these up so that we can see what kind of themes we're dealing with, and then I'll open up the individual packets, and then you can kind of compare what you get, what kind of variation there is in the same theme. Courageous. Okay, so these are monocolor so far. Journey. Marauders. Okay. Mordor. Another Trixie. So in past sets, I've run into variation depending on where they're printed. I think there's like an international location and there's a U.S. location, and sometimes one will have these inner cello wraps around the packs, and others they're just loose. Um, It's a little bit nice when they're like this because it does allow me to do this kind of thing where you can kind of open it up and you're not really revealing any information except what the theme is. See, so we have another Marauder under here. So that if you were playing with friends, you could actually see these ahead of time and not just randomly pick 2 packs. Another Mordor. Another Trixie. Another Courageous. Another Marauders. So actually, I'm thinking that these are I was going alphabetical, but there we are in Wooburg order. So it looks like they only have, or at least, I'm working from the N of 1 box here, so I can't speak authoritatively. But it's looking like there are just these, one theme per color, and then there might be some variation within the pack for color as to what we find, because they're all single color. Which is going to limit what kind of selections they have for what rares and mythics can make it into these packs. Don't know if that's good news or bad news. Value-wise. Okay, so it looks like white is Courageous, and then Trixie blue is Trixie, and black is Mordor, red is Marauders, which is the one that we got the most of, or the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got 4 each of white, blue, and red, and then we've got 3 each of the black and the green. So I will go with the courageous ones first. There we go. It's always a little tricky getting these opened. Okay, so we got courageous. So we've got commons. Okay, common. Samwise a start hearted is an uncommon. A rosy cotton. So Sam and Rosie. Errant Rider of Gondor. Bill the Pony. Lost in Legend. We have a land. And we have more lands. Okay, so then they've got some rares at the back. I was a little worried. So we got Saradoc, Master of Buckland, and Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Okay, so let's open our second one and see how similar it is, or is not. So the second iteration of this So we got Nimble Hobbit. We've got Sam again. So Creeper, we got Rosie. And Bill. And Reprieve again. Hobbit Sting, Slip on the Ring. Escape from Orthanc. Plains. Sarah, yeah, we got the same two rares. And here we had Sam, Rosie, Bill, and Lost to Legend. And then here we have Sam, Rosie, and Bill, and Reprieve instead. So there's the only difference there was, well, there was a difference in the uncommon, not in the rares. And there may have been some variability in the uncommons. I mean, in the commons. Okay. Try another one. No. This one to be a little difficult. There we go. Courageous. Sam. Rosie. Bill, and Lost to Legend again. Our lands. Saradoc and the Battle of Bywater. So there was a slight variation there. Courageous. Sam. Rosie. Bill. Reprieve. Our lands. And Saradoc and Boromir again. So there really wasn't a whole lot of variation there. There's some. With 4 shots at the goal on this one. I think Boromir is probably it's at least got some. At least it had some value on release. I don't know if it's held up or not. Okay, so let's move on to the blue, the Trixie. So what does Trixie have in store for us? Okay. Commons. Horses of Bruinen. Council's Deliberation. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. And Meneldor, Swift Savior. Then we have our lands. Press the Enemy, and Elvish Mariner. Those are our 2 from the first one. There's Elrond showing up earlier in the pack than in the other one. Saruman the White. So there is some variation there. Elrond's Gift, but the horses is in there. Saruman's Trickery. Our lands. And Elvish Mariner and Lost Isle Calling. Okay, so shared one and varied in the second. The horses, the council, Elrond, Menaldor, lands, press the enemy, and Elvish Mariner again. Okay, so we match the earlier pair. Okay. Elrond, Saruman, Saruman, horses, and Saruman's trickery, Badlands, and Elvish Mariner, and Rangers of Ithilien. So they are minorly tweaking these things. But probably a lot in common between two packs of the same color. So far, we haven't hit anything super spectacular with the rares, I don't think. So for Mordor, a Gollum Patient Plotter. We did get a Nazgul, so those are valuable. I'm actually putting that in the rare slot just because of the value. Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant. Gollum's Bite. We have our lands. Ring Wraiths. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, so at least that's worth it. I don't know what Ring Race is going for, but I know that Bowmasters is a hit. Come on. So that may be the lucky pack. Mordor. So there's Gollum, Patient Plotter. This one's got Rima, Gothmog, Bitter Downfall. We have our lands. We have a Ring Race and Witch King of Angmar. So you're not getting a Bowmaster in every pack of Mordor. Mordor again. Gollum. Patient Plotter. Hey, another Nazgul. Gothmog. Gollum's Bite. And our lands. Ringwraiths and Sauron the Necromancer. Okay. So now we're on to the Marauders, but at least we know that Bowmasters is a potential hit in the mortar packs. Okay, for Marauders. Common. Grishnak, Brash Instigator. Gimli, Counter of Kills. Foray of Orcs. Fear Fire Foes. And our lands, and Assault on Osgiliath, and There and Back Again are the rares in this case. So this one lets you do the Smog token, which is kind of wacky. Yeah, because if you could make it to the third chapter, create Smog, a legendary 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying, haste, and when this creature dies, create 14 treasure tokens. I mean, if you can do some copying shenanigans with the legend rule, held in abeyance, then that would be amazing. Marauders again. A Goblin Fire Leaper. That's new. Grishnak isn't common. So is Gimli. And Foray of Orcs. We go through our lands. Assault on Osgiliath and Moria Marauder. So double strike when a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Okay. Third Marauder. This is looking like the last one. So we got the Goblin Fire Leaper, the Brash Instigator, Gimli, Foray of Orcs, go through our lands. So Assault on Ngizzy. Okay, so we repeated the Smog Osgiliath combination. The final Marauders pack. Okay, Grishnak, Gimli, Foray of Orcs, Fear Fire Foes. So this is like the first pack, I think. Mountains, Assault on Osgiliath, and Moria Marauder. Okay, so that was red. So all we have left is green. My favorite color in Magic. There we go. Okay, what does green have in store for us? So, uh, Mariodoc, Brandy Buck, Peregrine Took, Quick Beam Upstart Ent, Stew the Conies. Then we have our lands. Eleanor Gardner and Fall of Gilgalad. Yeah, so when Eleanor enters the battlefield, create a food token, and at the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice a food this turn, you may search your library for a basic land card. Yeah, so I don't think that is in the precon for the Food and Fellowship, but you know, if that's an auto include for that, if it isn't already there. I've only played the food deck like twice, so I just may not have paid attention to it, seeing it before. But yeah, so I've been playing pre-con games for now. I'm working on upgrading my food deck for a stream appearance. Okay, there's Mariodoc, and Peregrine, and Quick Start, and Stew the Conies. So that's pretty much the same. And we have our lands. So Eleanor does seem to be the common one. Now we have Fangorn Tree Shepherd. So that one is kind of interesting. It says, so tree folk have vigilance, and whenever one or more tree folk you control attack, add twice that much green. If you don't, you don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. And I would have to double check the rules, but I think that kind of wording is used to, that's kind of like an Omnath Locus of Mana kind of thing, where you get to keep it across turns, I think. They're usually explicit if it's until end of turn. Value-wise, I don't know on these two green cards whether they're a big deal value-wise, but they're definitely my kind of card. Okay. Mary. Okay, Dunedain Rangers. That's a new one. Quick Beam. Gift of Strands. That's also new. Then we have our forests. And we have Elaine, and we have Eleanor, and we have Radagast the Brown. So it's a mythic. I don't know how. I don't think it's like top tier value wise. But this is like an interesting one for like if you're not doing a typal deck, so you're not focused on just a single creature type, because whenever Radagast or another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that creature's mana value. You may reveal a creature card that doesn't share a creature type with a creature you control from among those cards and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in random order. So you want to have a variety of creatures in that deck. So this is pretty much what I've come to experience with these Jumpstart sets. So they're at least the ones that are going along with set releases are just based on they're doing the simple thing of color. In a full size Jumpstart set, you have I'm assuming there's some multicolor stuff, but at least there's a wider variety of themes. So there's many different themes in a main standalone Jumpstart release. There's more of these, and it's not just restricted to color. So there's more variation going on. And there's only the 18 packs here, and you're limited as to what kind of rares you're getting based on color. So there were multicolor creatures in the set, so they didn't end up in these packs. I don't see that there was anything in this that was exclusive. At least it didn't seem like it. And if there was, it wasn't of much consequence. But it did have some Nazgul and Orcish and an Orcish Bowmasters in it. So yeah, so there's one. So we got two Nazgul. We got two Ring Wraiths, a Sauron. So I think that the black packs, the Mordor packs in here were the stars. And then there's some other, decent stuff, but not particularly valuable. But I'll have to double check the price on Bowmasters now, see if it's settled down any now that people have been cracking stuff, and more of them are out on the market. But I still think it's, kind of up there in price. So for a cheaper box, I'm lucky that I hit that. So I think that it doesn't pay for the box, but at least it makes it feel better. So yeah, so for this kind of thing, it's the kind of product that it has a purpose. So if you're going to use it for that purpose, then you can have fun with it. So if you like playing the Jumpstart format, or you want to introduce someone to Magic using these, then that's good. But if you're cracking it for value, it's probably a pretty poor proposition. You may get lucky and hit something nice, but on average, you're probably not going to do spectacular. But this is an excellent set. I like this set, and like I said, I'm building my my first upgraded version of something from this, because I've just been playing the precons. I still have to sort my commons and get a play set of stuff out of that that I can build from. But yeah, so I'm gonna do an upgrade of the Food and Fellowship deck. And first, I'm gonna try and use just cards within the. I'll make a first pass with cards within the set. And then there are a couple of key things that are they sound like they should be auto includes in a sort of upgrade from outside the set. So I'll see what I come up with. But anyhow, this was a example of what you can get out of the Jumpstart product for Magic the Gathering, Universes Beyond, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, Jumpstart. So, hope you like that, and I hope I will get to see you or come around for another video. Thanks. Bye.